Namaste, Archana Pammi. Welcome back to my channel. This is the same strengthening series, and this is the second one that we're going to be doing for the heart. Now, of course, we're not stretching the heart muscle, but we're actually going to just stretch all the muscles around the heart cavity so there is enough space created and you can breathe better as well. So let's start off. The first pose that we're going to be doing is the Sphinx pose, where we're going to end up opening up our shoulders a little bit and the chest better, so there is enough space created. So we'll start by lying down on our belly, and you're going to bring your elbows in front of you. Going to keep your elbows a little bit wider, not fully wider, but just the side of your chest, and your elbows are right below your shoulders. And this is your Sphinx pose. You can automatically feel that your shoulders are open and you feel a little bit of space in front of you. You're just going to breathe into that space. You can bring your feet together if possible, otherwise, just keep your feet slightly hip width apart and then press the top of the feet into the mat. This is also a good lower back stretch, good for people with sciatica. Now you're going to breathe into this open space that you have created in the front. Breathe some love into your heart and close your eyes, relax, staying here for 2 minutes. Inhale and exhale. So, yeah, I forgot. So, you could make this a little bit easier if this feels intense by extending your arm further forward or a little bit more wider. But I prefer to keep it as close to the chest as possible and the elbows almost below the shoulders. So it's been almost a minute. So just continue to stay there for another minute. Just gaze forward. Don't hang your head. You've already created space by opening up your chest. So don't relax your neck. Just keep gazing forward. Staying there for another minute. slowly release from this. What we're going to do is we're just going to stack one palm over the other and just relax our head or forehead on top of the palms just to release the lower back stretch. So just lying here for a couple of breaths. And release. Sit up. The next pose that we're going to be doing is called thread the needle. So we start by on our fours, so our knees are on the floor, hip width apart, palms below the shoulders, the elbows and shoulders and wrists stacked in one line. So we're going to start with our right hand and we're going to rest our right hand and the head on the floor. So inhale, lift the right hand up, and as you exhale, slide it under your left arm and then rest your head on the mat, your neck, your right shoulder, and your head on the mat. Now, your left hand can support by extending it further like this. You can stay here if you feel comfortable. If you'd like to deepen this and open up the chest again a little bit more for your heart, you can bring the left arm behind your lower back like this. And stay here and keep breathing. And losing the balance, just gonna place the arm over, bringing the left arm down. And keep breathing. Bring your left arm back in front of your face and use that to push your body away from the floor. Lift your right arm up again and bring it down. Adjust yourself, bring your knees again closer if they move them out. We're going to do this on the left hand side. I'm just going to turn so you can see me. Right again, wrists, elbows, shoulders stacked in one line, knees hip width apart. Inhale, lift the left arm up. As you exhale, slide it under your right arm, resting your head and neck on the mat. You can extend the right arm Or you can place the right arm behind your lower back for a deeper opening. I'm slipping a lot, so I've just brought my hand back. So to release, bring your right arm back in front of your face. Push into your palm to lift up. Inhale, lift the left arm up. And exhale, release. So that was thread the needle. Now we are going to go into another pose called as the happy heart or the puppy dog pose. We start again in tabletop, knees hip width apart. Now this one, we're going to do the same thing. We did this in the previous sequence when we were stretching for our shoulders, but I'm going to use a block to rest the head. So we're not stretching too much of the shoulders and the neck, but we're creating more space for the heart or the chest. So we're going to start by extending our arms forward and placing our forehead on the block. So you're placing the forehead on the block like this, and you're just relaxing. Again, feel free to sink your belly into the thigh like this with an arch, or you could tuck it in if you would like to lengthen your back. I prefer to sink into the belly. Okay, to let that lower back, you know, arch. Heads, my heart get closer, the chest get closer to the mat. The forehead helps create the space where I can breathe nicely. Otherwise, your chest and your face are into the mat and it's very difficult to breathe. So, this way, there is enough space and opening for your chest, your heart cavity. Keep breathing, inhale and exhale. Deep inhale and long exhales. Staying here for a couple of minutes in this happy heart pose. Being here for a minute, staying here for another minute. Keep breathing. Inhale, exhale. And to slowly release, press your elbows and your palms. You can slowly release by moving a little bit forward and then pushing your body away from the mat. So that was Happy Heart. I could feel the cavity open up, a lot of space created for you to breathe deeply into that space that we just created. So let's move on to the next couple of them, which are just reclined poses. Again, they're opening up the cavity in the space more in the muscles near that heart, but also at the same time, these both poses are very relaxing. So we're going to need a couple of props for this. I'm going to use two blocks. If you don't have two blocks, I'll tell you, you always use two pillows and just stack them lengthwise, one over the other. If you're using blocks, then I would recommend placing one flat where your upper back or your upper middle back is going to rest, and this where the back of your head is actually going to rest. So I'm placing it the long side up, not the complete long side up, the width side. I don't know what is the right way. So usually you say this is level 0, level 1, and level 2. So this is level 1, and one block is in level 0. So now we're going to start by sitting close to the block. Is about maybe a little bit of distance away. Your hips is away from that block. You're slowly going to lie down by placing your upper back on the first low block, and then the back of your crown on your other block. Now you can keep your legs extended and your arms rolled out, palms facing up. Now this is basic fish pose. So you can see that your entire chest is open. There's a lot of space for your lungs to breathe, a lot of space created for your heart as well. So breathe deeply, again, abdominal breathing. As you inhale, feel your belly rise up. And as you exhale, feel your belly fall down and empty your legs completely. So deep abdominal breathing as you inhale and exhale. This is the easy variation. If you'd like to relax a little bit more, what you could do is you can bend your knees, bring your feet together, and drop them to the side. If this feels intense and your hips are not open, then please avoid this. Just keep your legs extended. I prefer this, so I'm going to go for this. And you can also, keep a couple of cushions or another set of pillows here, right next to your hips, so that way there's not much of tension again with your hips opening up. Uncomfortable. So I'm going to just stay here. This is going to be a little longer hold, so we're going to stay here for about 5 minutes. Keep breathing. Feel the chest cavity open. There's a lot of space for your lungs. You can inhale a lot more. So deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. to slowly release. You can fold your legs if you keep them open. Drop your knees to the right hand side and then roll over to the right hand side and then sit up. So that was reclined fish or reclined Baddha or butterfly pose. If you kept your knees bent, then it is butterfly pose. If you kept your knees extended, it's just a fish pose. You saw that there was a light elevation, back was also elevated, and then your neck was also elevated. It's also good for the throat chakra, but it also helps you create that space for you to breathe into deeply into your lungs and even for your heart. So we're going to now wind down. We're going to do Shavasana. Now I'm going to get a prop, which is again a bolster. And if you don't have a bolster, you can always stack two hard pillows below you. We're going to raise the elevation a little bit more and keep both our heart and the head in the same elevation and our legs a little bit lower. So let's do that now. All right. So I have the bolster here with me. So we're going to actually keep the bolster behind. But let's do one thing. Before we do finally go into Shavasana, let's try to reverse the blood flow a little by going into waterfall pose. Now, again, the same thing can be done with the bolster. And if you feel a little uncomfortable with the bolster, I'll also show you the variation with a block. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually have to sit onto the bolster. So place your hips on the bolster and you're going to lie down. Be as low as possible. I don't want you to hurt your lower back. Now extend your legs out. Now this is best done against a wall, so you can actually place your legs against a wall and feel this. Just going to adjust my a little bit so my lower back is also on the bolster. So if you place your lower back and your hips, it becomes easy and the blood flow reverses. If the bolster, I think the bolster is very comfortable. You can place two. If you don't have a bolster, it's okay. You can place two, three pillows. Then you can lie on top of it. Arms out. You can point your toes to relax. You can keep them flexed and staying here for about a minute. The elevation and the legs up ends up reversing the blood flow towards the heart. That's also very good. So we'll just stay here for about a minute. We'll relax and then we'll go into Shavasana. And slowly bend your knees and bring your feet down, one leg at a time. And you can lift your hips up and then release the bolster. Just to show just to show you how you can do the same thing with a block, you can place the block at level 0 under your hips, and you can extend your legs up. This is one way of doing it. If you don't have a bolster, you can use a block, or if you don't have a block, you can also roll up a bedsheet like I did before and then do that. Now going on to our Shavasana, bringing the bolster back. So I'm going to place it again lengthwise, the same direction of the mat. Now bringing my lower back as close to the bolster, I'm going to let the lower back arch into the bolster and then lie down. Now again, feel free to choose whichever version of the legs. This is Shavasana, so you can keep your legs extended. The elevation helps open up this particular chest cavity a little bit more and give more space for the heart. And we're going to stay breathing here and relax. Close your eyes. If you feel uncomfortable with stretching out your legs, then you can also go back into bent knees into the butterfly pose, whichever feels comfortable. Choose that. Since I already used the butterfly pose for the fish or the elevation that we did with the blocks, I'm gonna keep my legs extended now with the bolster and keep breathing. And again, apologize if you don't have a bolster. Stack 2, 3 hard pillows and this just lie down on top of them. to slowly release from the pose. Start by moving your fingers, your toes, your legs, arms. And bring your arms over your head to lengthen. And your feet together, toes pointing towards the floor, lengthening and relax. Bend your knees, roll over to the right side and sit up. So that was the strengthening series for the heart. Essentially, again, we're not working the heart organ as is, but we're creating space. We're usually slouching, or when we are tense, we hold those muscles very tightly. So all the four asanas and the five, even including Shavasana that we did, I could feel that space open up. There's a lot of space open. You can breathe deeply into your lungs as well. You also send in all that good juju, as they say, to your heart as well. Again, a word of caution, any surgeries, please consult with your physician before you do this. I mean, your doctor or surgeon or whoever it is. For most part, all of this are easily doable, but at any point in time you feel a little bit woozy or uncomfortable or too much of a stretch because you've never stretched it so much and then suddenly you're opening it up because all five asanas that we did were all meant to open up. So you're literally opening up the space in the rib cage, right? Um, if it is uncomfortable, just take it a little bit slow, maybe not holding it for 2 minutes, but just less than 1 minute, or you get out of the pose and then again you go back to it after a minute. So let me know how this felt. And again, remember, keep breathing. Now that you've created the space, take the next few hours to keep reminding yourself of the space that you've created and keep breathing deep breaths. Inhale and exhale and feel yourself happy through the day. Namaste.